the ambitions of the Civil Rights Movement and David Thoreau in less than 2 minutes. Now we're not going to bore you, so let's get right to it.
The Civil Rights Movement, in basic terms, was people working together to gain equality for African Americans. This movement lasted from 1955 to 1968, and they had several goals that they wanted to accomplish, like general equality. Ha! No. They wanted to end segregation, turn separate but equal into just plain old equal, desegregate schools and other public facilities, and have access to jobs and housing.
After enduring abuse for many generations through discrimination, literal abuse, and Jim Crow laws separate but equal, Congress finally worked out a solution, abolishing Jim Crow laws and establishing the 13th through 15th Amendments, which made African Americans legally equal to white Americans. But many argue that having a law to promote equality is not actual equality. Now, the main leaders of the Civil Rights Movement are MLK.
Move! You see that? I just committed an act of violence. During the Civil Rights Movement, if Jason were black and I were white, I would be praised. But if I were a black man and Jason were white, I would be arrested violently and tried by an all-white jury and most likely put to death or thrown in jail.
Ow!
So the civil rights leaders. Generally, they followed the ideas of civil disobedience. Now, Thoreau argued 3 points about being civilly disobedient. Only break the unjust law, take the penalties of breaking the unjust law, and do it non-violently.
Sorry.
The civil rights leaders followed these 3 rules by going against laws that promoted segregation, accepting their penalties by going to jail, and they did all of this non-violently with peaceful protests. The most effective of these protests were the Woolworth sit-ins and the Montgomery bus boycotts, led by leaders such as MLK, Malcolm X, and Rosa Parks.
The Equal Employment Opportunity Commission is a group that really embodies the ideals of the Civil Rights Movement. African Americans have equal opportunities, equal pay, and equal treatment with their help. However, it is still seen that African Americans are mistreated, most often in police cases, and a large amount of the African American populace still lives in areas where they were once racially segregated.